Hello, hello everyone. Hello Lily.
Hi,
Here we are
Marco.
again. It's so beautiful to once again have the opportunity to share some time together.
Yes.
I think we are here now for the fourth time,
Yes.
and it's lovely to be with whoever is tuning in with this transmission. Uh, the intent is just to be ourselves and to share whatever comes along with our soulfulness. We never have a script. We don't know what is the evening is going to take us to. But a few minutes before we started this transmission, both me and Lily were sharing to each other, acknowledging the intensity of this moment. So we might look a little bit different this time from the other times, uh, because we are different,
Mhm.
because we are transforming ourselves in more and more beauty every given second.
Mhm.
And the intensity of this incredible human experience is intensifying more and more by the minutes. So it is, I was thinking about something uh, right today. For those who are here to continue the human
Mhm.
experience through this amazing upgrading that is working in process right now, and we are not so many. I have the feeling that we are about what 15-20% of the world population. Not that the other one will stop to exist. They might choose different roads because whatever reason they have, and this is just a game, and we are all love, and we might see you later, guys. Whoever it is.
I feel like it's for me it's like a very heartfelt invitation to everybody to say come, but we can
Yeah.
only invite. We
Yes.
cannot convince anybody. We
No.
can only share our own experience and invite to join, right? The path, even though it's going to be an individual path. But
Yeah.
as we were talking before, we it's for me, I feel it's an absolutely transformation for me. It was a completely reset in the past weeks, a zero where we it's really like let's start from zero. Let's start to feel again, bring more parts of your soul in this human experience. And I felt without it's almost like this movie, like a type of Matrix movie or this kind of movies where the old version of me still kind of like says, but wait, what's going to happen with me? We're allowing this new version to come. And it's like, oh, should I still hold it on or just let it go? So whatever needs to still remind, still there, just remain there
Yeah.
comes with you and allows so much of parts of your soul to express, but again, in this human experience. And yeah, there is no wonder that just some of us are doing it because it is challenging to say
Yeah.
yes. It is excited, but it does bring some challenges of
Absolutely.
completely release.
However, for those who decide to stay, to continue this amazing journey, I would say it is really time now to truly dive in 150% into the human experience. So let's stop complaining, kicking and screaming, and playing small, playing victim, playing not good enough, playing whatever small narrative our ego wants us to endorse, and let's just dive deep
Yes.
into the 100% into being human, with all the incredible and sublime miracles that this experience has to offer to us. Okay.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes.
and yes, we are multidimensional beings. We are many, many things. But in my perception, while all these other multidimensional expression are ourselves are portals, I really feel that this is it. This is the ultimate experience. This
Yes.
is the center of our evolutionary journey, right?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And when you were just saying that, one of my experience for the past week was to have that human experience, but also in connection with the sea, with the ocean. So
Mhm.
as you were saying this, I felt myself when you say go profound. This is what happens to me the last week. It's I felt like I dive in also into the ocean, a Mother Earth ocean, to experience Gaia in that amazing place, which is also in the ocean. And by doing that, I dive in a deeper, I delve deeper into my own self here as a human on Earth, and having the sea, the ocean, as part of Gaia, as part of us.
Absolutely. Yeah. We also need to acknowledge, again, for those who choose to stay and wear this amazing avatar, we need to acknowledge the incredible opportunity that the gift that is for us to be able to be into this human journey, as it is probably the closest physical expression of source itself.
Yes, it's so beautiful. But yes,
And there is, I don't think there is any extraterrestrial, any other form of life that come even close to what we are going to experience, particularly in this new round, in this new cycle, because uh, two things come to mind. One is the other extraterrestrial experience that probably we all have many other experiences other than being human are I noticed that most of the extraterrestrial are they need technology. It seems to be needing technology in order to do whatever they need to do. And humans, once they are fully on, awakened, they don't need any technology. The technology is
ah,
now.
that's so interesting what you're saying. So interesting because, there's so many comments and I read so much, and I always, even with fights and so on, and I say, well, when we become who we are, the potential of we are, and acknowledge that potential and own it, there's nothing else to do. We can do whatever we want. We can manifest anything physical. We can create just a bubble of love, so nothing comes in. It's, it's, uh, I completely agree with you. It's like there is, there is something that we need as human beings to acknowledge, because the tendency is still to look outside, and other extraterrestrial, to look in the cosmos is like, what could I be? Or I rather go out of my body, I rather go out. Why don't we take a spaceship and go somewhere else? And I said, wait, the chances we have and the potential we have in as human beings, it's it's one of a kind in the galaxy, in the universe, and we have the opportunity through our own full knowledge of the potential of we are to have the whole universe and multiverse evolve with us. And everybody is supporting that, because also for some extraterrestrials will be they are observing how we doing, how we are managing, and they're supporting it, obviously, because with evolving, they're going to have also another chance to keep evolving themselves. So it's not just something isolated. Everything
No.
is happening, but there is something wonderful, because it's a wonder. It's really wonder what we have, the opportunity we have here.
Yes. And many of our brothers and sisters, star brothers and sisters, look at us in amazing wonder, because they see things that they cannot even dream about it. I mean, we have imagination, we have emotions. We again, once we are removing this temporary level of forgetfulness that we embrace in order to navigate in the low frequencies and learn from that, once we go back to our fully awakened status, they are going to ask us infinite amount of questions. They have so much to learn from us, you know, because again, this human experience is the closest experience to source itself in physical form, and now it's
Yes.
getting even upgraded.
Oh, I got goosebumps.
Right.
Yes.
So that's and another characteristic of the human experience is that it moves through the journey celebrating diversity. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Another element, the soul in this experience has the ability to really experience it himself, while in other communities, basically they all move together similarly,
Yes.
they all look the same. But in this habitat that we
Mm-hmm.
call experience, we have the chance to really be thriving individually by using our uniqueness.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, that's an opportunity that not many other operating system out there has to offer.
Yes. Yes. And it reminds me again, and I've said it already, probably the 4 times we've met, about how in it's just this diversity as a humankind, but as in the whole nature, in all the trees, in all the mountains, in this beautiful ocean, and every single experience we have, every single touching we have with nature, with our heart, it's a piece of the universe and the multiverse, because as you're saying, it's the opportunity to express a source in the physical, as in no other place. So it's someone was saying in the last event, it's like a live library. It's a library that it's alive, and it was saying just in terms of nature, and I say absolutely, or in terms of the whole wisdom that it's gathered in our planet. But it's not just for the galaxy. It's a library of the whole universe and multiverse, and we are an expression of it. And we just need to open up that library, like our uniqueness library, so each of us can be one volume of the whole. So then we can share this wisdom with others.
Yeah. And you know, Lily, sometimes people, I mean, often I got this question, who you were before in other lifetimes, and you were this, you were that, you were that. And I really choose not to go into that, because I really feel I want to stay focused on being here So I don't want to get attached to past or simultaneously other expression of myself, other than maybe occasionally download from those multidimensional experiences information that might be valuable. But I don't want to get lost into the idea that I was this and so I did that and I was in
Yeah.
Star Wars and I did this and I did
I
that and I
call it
was
I call it the spiritual gossip.
right, exactly. So I don't go into that, and neither I usually, at least until now, I don't attach myself to some form of channeling like avatar, or some people say I channel Jesus, Madalena, angels, dragons, whatever, because I don't want to lose myself into another entity. I just want to stay in myself, because I'm here to be fully myself. And so I might, again, integrate some information that might come from Archangel Michael if he ever show up. But I don't, because many, I can see they just lose themselves into that. And then they are missing the point, which is the point is to evolve through this experience and not to allow somebody else to come in and do it for us.
Yeah,
You
and
know?
for me has changed, and I do have a big team, but I see it as a team. So
Okay.
I see it as we're going to co-create together. You might have a wisdom, something that I need. For this is how we're gonna do this. It's really like an enterprise where I am part of it. So I take responsibility of what I had. So it's not like, okay, tell me what to do. And I remember very well, and it was having in a team and a cosmic team, so different entities. And I feel for me, it's also because I have a lot of fun with that. And then, then I ask, well, what should I do? Let's use something very banal. Should I eat honey from New Zealand or honey from Mexico? It was deeper than that, but I don't remember exactly what I was asking. And I remember this from all these entities. There were 50% say New Zealand and 50% said from Mexico. And then I say, what the hell? I thought that I had you, so I didn't have to take more decisions, So I realize exactly what you're saying. It's not giving them your empowerment because it's your own. They are, what I feel is we are here to support you. And there is something where there are information, as you're saying, it's not depending on them and not attaching with them. But for me, is there are sometimes they are able to see things that I am still not able to see. So where the information needs to reach me now, to do something for my own evolution, a higher purpose of all. And they said, this is the recommendation, but it's always a recommendation. So for me, I don't call it a more channeling. I feel like I'm manifesting, I'm co-creating with these beings. It's, and these beings, I see it as a part of me. Not as a separate, again, something outside me telling me what to do or not to do. I see it as a part of me, a different quality of my soul, that it's able to see at this point something that I'm not able to see. And this is how I deal. But I completely agree, it's not about following steps. It's still your responsibility. It's still... what are you co-creating? And for me, I call it as my team, because then we talk about, but it's not the one who has to make the decision and the steps here on earth. It's me.
For as long as you are the boss, everything is fine.
Exactly. No, and I think it's because you take responsibility. I mean, this is their journey. I mean, that's what you were saying too, is how to embody all your soul, but in your human experience. So I'm opening of any kind of cosmic help, but without losing the empowerment that requires to become that that avatar, that 100% awakening soul here in my human experience.
Yeah. Well, I personally, of course, I integrate information that I might feel in resonant with from outside sources, or even from other humans, or whatever.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
that's all good, and that's actually beautiful and welcome. But we need to make sure that we still stay in our power, because often I see people that just get lost because, first of all, these uh, lights lights that come sometimes are not really what they seems to be. They are actually trying to suck your energy, and they actually are helping you to test your sense of empowerment. So because it can come here, the Archangel Michael with his big beautiful wings, and it's fine. I welcome a conversation with him, but if he says something that doesn't resonate with me, I say, well, it's interesting what you're saying, but no, thank you. This is not what I need to experience right now. So it's important, particularly right now, that we are going to dealing with a lot of holograms, a lot of projections, a lot of fake lights, fake savior. That we really stay in our center and connected with our soul, and we apply our own discernment without feeling small or insignificant or not good enough. Because if somebody that is the embodiment of light come to us, it will never project in us a sense of being less than
Ever,
ever.
ever.
Ever. We'll never do that. So
And
when
never
somebody,
will force you to do anything, and will never will say, if you don't do that, something
right,
is going to happen, you
yeah,
know?
or even create a sort of hierarchy, you
No.
do
Oh, that's
this,
so important. No
yeah,
hierarchies. That's so, so
yeah,
important. It's the human being that start to create it again. And my sense is because it's easy to give responsibility to others
yeah,
than take it for yourself.
yeah, of course,
No, and this is where, and I also agree very much about what I call the spiritual gossip. And come, oh, well, I was Capata. I said, whoa, it's like,
okay,
oh, good for you. and, and my question always is, and how is it helping you to evolve now? So for me, is if you remember that you were Capata in this time, it means that you still have a lot of things you didn't harmonize in that time that you need to do in order to become who you
right,
meant to be here right now.
yeah,
And so do it so you can evolve. So it's what it's helping you also to know. So it's for me is it is sometimes you do remember, I don't know, your kabat, and then suddenly you remember a recipe which is gonna help. So, but my point is not just to stay in this spiritual gossip. I was this, or I am from here. I am. It's like, what is helping you to go deeper within yourself? What is helping you to remind you the wonder, again, of who you are here on earth? Each of us is a wonder. And if we have to start looking at ourselves as wonders, like walking wonders or sitting wonders, whatever, it's just look at the mirror and see the wonder that you are. And when everybody start looking at itself with that wonder, this is what's going to create an amazing evolution, amazing ascension, an amazing ascension of consciousness and in ourselves and in humanity.
yes. And it is important also to be able to develop the ability to see the wonder in everything else, because um, otherwise, if we see ourselves, then there is the ego come in, and this, I'm,
Well, without hierarchy, and like you say, and without comparison, everybody is a wonder.
right.
So I agree with you. But I think when you really come that wonder from the right place, is because you're looking at yourself, and in the moment that you do it from that deep space, there's no way you cannot look other things without wonder.
Yeah.
It's like when you really touch that deepness of yourself and the shyness of yourself.
Yeah, it seems like when I was since I was a child, I had this interesting way to deal with my day. I remember even when I was like 3 years old, 4 years old, at the end of my day, I would just, at the moment I put my head on the pillow and I close my eyes, I would inevitably run through all the occurring of that day,
Mm-hmm.
and I would see all the actors, the role playing, the good and the bad and the ugly, and all the drama that was in that day, and I would feel tears of love and appreciation for all the aspect of the dualistic experience I had in that day.
Mm-hmm.
And with those tears, I would literally fall asleep. And that was me for a way to reset myself so that the
Mm-hmm.
day after, I wouldn't carry with me the heaviness of the day before. I would
It's
start completely
wonderful.
fresh. Yeah.
That's
And
wonderful.
yeah, yeah, it's a beautiful. It's not a technique. It's just an attitude, an intent, a predisposition that you acquire to be willing to see love in
Mm-hmm.
everything, appreciation in everything that occur in the day. Also, those moments that were interpreted as bad or interpreted as painful, and you start to see the perfection in everything, and you start to feel appreciation for all the role that has been played.
Mm-hmm.
uh, and that takes you to a level of a vibrational offer that allows you to go deeper and deeper into the human experience without getting lost into the narrative of the ego that wants to make you believe that what happened to you, be careful the past and be careful now
The
the future.
drama.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
No, that's beautiful. I really, I think there's something to gratitude, right? It's gratitude for everything. Oh, I have the word for gratitude, like we talk about. This is the etenea. It's just I'm grateful for who I am. I'm grateful for this wonder. I am
Yeah.
grateful for those things that they were really comfortable, for those who were uncomfortable, those who were challenging, those who were welcome. It's like everything, because it's part of the whole. There is no separation. And I feel like when I was a kid, I was able to see the whole thing, but then I got more into, well, no, I've never been very dramatic, but I kind of start flowing through the whole thing, and then at some point I say, okay, wait, let's go back to these gratitude moments of opening up to everything as oneness without separation. And the more I do it, it's the more wonderful everything becomes, and the more wonders I'm able. It's like my perception gets wider, therefore the wonder keeps getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah. That's is a state of being that right now is essential if we want to go through the tsunami that's going on right now in the planet, and with the many different swing of dramas and all the evil and the light and all this dance that is intensify at the magnitude that is really almost it take your breath away sometime. And if we can stay in that state of mind, in that state of being, of appreciation and seeing the game and all the facets of the dualism that we're experiencing, with love, with unconditional love. That's the key. That's the best way to go to the other dream that is waiting for us.
I agree. I agree. And everything is accelerating, so it's intensify.
Yeah.
And for me, it's do you really want this? Do you want to stay in that state of love? And the answer is yes. And no matter what, no matter what's going on around, without closing the eyes, this is the trick to it, because it's not about repressing emotion. It's not about denying them. It's not about, no, it's about embracing it all.
Yeah. It gets really fun. Once you somehow manage to fill up your container with self-love, enough to step out from needing anything, that's when the experience starts to become really fun, when you are really walking very light, because you don't need any approval, you don't need to be understood, you don't need to be somebody, you don't need to be recognized, appreciated, you don't need anything. The neediness is one of the biggest anchor that keep us down. But again, if we manage to grow our appreciation and the love, and so in order to do that, we have to remove the judgment towards ourselves. Once we get to that point, then it becomes really fascinating, this journey, because you travel so light. You don't need anything. You just have fun and travel and journey.
In every single step, right?
Yeah.
The fun becomes just one step, the next step, and then I don't know. It's like suddenly your vision also of everything gets amplified. Something that you might not seen before, suddenly you're able to see. It gets 360, but multiplied.
Yeah, and also you become much more daring. You are able to be at ease with the mystery of life. So you don't need to control every aspect of your life anymore. You can just play free without knowing what is happening the next moment, because you have fully knowing and faith on your love, which is the life is a reflection of the love that you gain for yourself. It reflects now on life, and so you see that no matter what happened, it's never wrong, it's never bad, it's always exactly what you're supposed to have. And so at that point, you can completely just relax and enjoy the ride. Also, you with the love that you now have for yourself, you come to the awareness that you always existed, you exist, you always will exist. So you can really completely let go any sort of concern about whatever outcome, because I'm eternal. So what's the hurry? What's the pressure? What is we can let go all of that and just play.
Yeah. Yeah. And even if we were not eternal, just say, even if.
Yeah.
Why not enjoying what we have now? We are eternal, and it's like, just do the best you can and just have that moment of fun. And then if you add the part that of acknowledging that we are eternal, well, even better.
Yes. Well, because most of the people here at this time, mm, they are playing the game, and they came to believe they are the game.
Mm-hmm.
It's like me and you right now. You are sitting down in that beautiful red chair. I'm here, and we're having a pleasant conversation, right? But if all of a sudden, for some weird, strange idea, we come to believe that this is all we got
Yeah.
and there is nothing else, but
Yes.
me talking to you, you talking to me, you sitting there with those clothing, with this chair, and I'm here, all of a sudden, what before was a pleasant and fun and light experience, now it become dramatic, it become very oppressive, it become heavy,
Yes.
because we think that this is all we got.
Yes. 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 I understand. I understand what you mean. Yeah.
And that's how most of the people live. They think that they are that role that they're playing. They think that they have very limited time. How many people say you hear saying, "Oh, I'm too old,"
Oh
or,
God.
or "I am now it's too late," or "I cannot do anymore what I used to be able to do." I mean, there is all this programming, right? That
Mm-hmm.
really make the experience very contracted instead of expansive, because we have
Mm-hmm.
this idea that we have little time, we have little resources, we are little ourselves, and the game is going to be over. There's only this game, there's nothing else. So that creates the journey become like a nightmare all of a sudden.
Yeah, Pablo was saying, Pablo is behind, and it's my team support here. And he was talking about how in psychology you have those, they study you're as a kid, then at certain year you become a young adolescent, and then you become a youth, and then you become an adult, then you're senior, and then well, that's it. That's over. Game over. and 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 so specific what needs to have and what needs to happen,
Mhm.
and things also like if I see in this avatar of a woman, well, when you have menstruation, you become a woman. But then when you have you have the menopause, then it's you become, I don't know. And there's so much programming to each stage
Yeah.
that you need to get out of it. It's like for me, the other day, someone was asking about menopause. I say, I erased that word from my system. So I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yes. So we are all follow. All these people are strictly following the curriculum.
The
They don't even
curriculum, that's
question.
good.
They don't even question it. I mean, why in the morning do I have to eat cappuccino with croissant? If I want to eat soup and chicken, can I do that?
Soup. I love eating soup in the morning. Well, but
Right.
I like eating soup all anytime. I love soups, so that's a fact. So I can eat it in the morning, in the evening, in winter, in summer.
Right. But if you follow the curriculum, you're not
No, I'm
supposed to.
wrong.
You know, it's only a time to eat the soup in a certain situation. Otherwise, you're a bad guy.
Exactly. See? So you crazy. You don't know what you want.
It's so funny because everybody are so serious about all these roles, and I
Hmm.
decide everything. We when I say we need to go dive deeply into our human experience, it means exactly that, to remove all these laws and rules that are second-handed, third-handed, who know how many hands,
Yeah,
and
where did it
yeah,
come from?
right, who knows,
And
and
who
we are.
cares? It doesn't matter. Just get rid of them.
So I decide, just for fun, which age I want to synchronize myself.
Hmm.
So if you ask me how old I am, I'll tell you my preferred age at this point. Okay, or maybe I tell you, I don't know. If I close my eyes, I don't hear any age. I don't hear any year. So I guess I cannot really give you a straight answer about this topic.
That's a very good point. What even having a year? What's the you
Yeah.
know this obsession of year? Even though I mean, I still like to sometimes celebrate, like to say, oh, I
Yeah,
have
yeah,
this, but it's about why putting a label, you know?
yeah, exactly. And that's what we are going to. It's going to be fun once you are free from. You have an understanding that you can choose whatever you want to choose. You're not. Uh, Submitted to these rules and regulation. You can now it's going to be fun because I got to choose anything. I want to choose that today is Sunday, not Monday. Okay, I want to choose that whatever.
Exactly.
I can change anything. I don't like 24 hours a day. I want 35 hours a day.
Yes. Yes.
I can arrange my state of my experience just based on my inner sense of joy and creativity and resonance and even silliness if I want to. And that's where the fun really start when you and then some ideas that are part of the curriculum. You might still like it. I still play with some of them. For example,
But
this
you do
weekend.
it consciously. That's the
Yes, yes,
thing. It's just it's a conscious choice of doing and enjoying, not just
exactly.
because that's what it needs to happen.
Exactly. So the first thing, you remove the judgment. So you don't judge what other people do or what is and then you choose. For example, now this weekend is Easter, right?
Yes, yes.
I mean, I don't care. To me, it doesn't mean anything. But I'm going to Rome. I'm going to spend time with my mother. And I'm going to play the game of being at the Easter table with all the tradition, Italian tradition. You're supposed to eat this and open this egg of chocolate. Inside there is a present, and I play with it and I have fun with it. But I can also choose not to if I want to. So I don't feel this heavy duty that I have to honor because it's Easter and I have to go and go to the church or be serious about it and all this stuff. You just
Yeah.
can
The
play along.
duty, the so-called duties we have in life. We have a
Yeah,
duty as a daughter, you have a duty as a friend, you have a duty as we put so much duties in our list as a Catholic or as a neighbor, as ethical duties. There's so
there's so
citizens
many.
duties, so many duties that for me it's another word that we need to erase from our system
Yeah,
because there are not such a thing as duties.
exactly.
The
So that's right.
dutyless.
Yes, yeah. So that is something that for us, for those 15-20% of the population that wants to continue go really deep into the human journey, we need to start to peel off all the stuff because it was beautiful, it was great. We don't have a judgment about it, but it's enough, and now we can write our own script in the way we want it. We can create the actors that we want it, the event that we want it, the scenography we want it, and we can change it in any time. It's not that if we say something has to be like that, I can change my mind anytime.
Yes, yes, this is not, there's nothing forever.
Right. I remember there was a time where there was this very serious idea that you have to graduate at the university and to do
Oh,
this really
yes.
very
Yes.
important because otherwise your life is going to be completely mess.
You're not going to be somebody.
Right, exactly. And so I play along with that. I went to the university and I had really hard time to find anything, any faculty that really there was nothing there that really. But I enrolled myself and I spent 1 week at the university. And it was fun. For 1 week it was fun, and then I said, "Okay, I'm graduated. I'm done." And
Yes.
when I told family and friends that I was finished with the university, they thought, "But you are not committed. You are not serious. You're not." And I said, "Why? I was very committed. I just committed. It was enough. So it was beautiful, and it's not just it was, that's exactly what I needed to experience. One day more, it would have been too much for me.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So we allow ourselves, we give ourselves the freedom to reinvent ourselves, to reschedule, to rewrite the contracts at any given moment, to change our opinion or our. And people say, "But then you are not serious." But I don't want to be serious. I want to be real. Okay.
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
a constantly expanding soul. If I stay stick with one truth because I have to take it for the next 5 years, because then, then I'm betraying myself, because there's part of me that
Absolutely.
says, you know what, 1 month is enough, or maybe it is good for 5 years, maybe it's good for 3 years, whatever. But
Whatever feels right for you, that's the thing. And what for me was the other way around, because at some point, as I say, I was more following, I was just following the stream, the matrix, how the system should work, and say, okay, that I have this, I have this. But in terms of studying, it's like, I don't find anything, then I studied 3 careers, because it's like, no, this is not. This is not either. This is not either. It's very helpful, I must say, right now, all the three, for when I want to share things. But it was like, no, that's not, till I figured it out. Well, because you're still looking outside, and it has to be from within. Even though in all the three, it had to do, all of them was creative. It had to do with art. It had to do with, because it was architecture, it was fashion design, there was multimedia art. So it was trying to look for my obsession was always creating space without walls, and creating beauty without something physical. But I was trying to look for the solution in a matter way, And now I say, yeah, now I create so many spaces. It's just with energy and consciousness, and it's amazing. But so that could be another way. So it's like, do whatever it needs to be for you to feel good, to feel complete and in peace. Take your decisions that make you feel in peace. Whatever comes from the outside, like you say, your parents was like, surrounding was going crazy because you just did 1 week university and you were graduated. And for me, when I left my relationship and so on, my mother's like, that's the biggest mistake you're doing. I was like, well, it's going to be mine. So anyways, this is how I feel. I still don't. And sometimes you don't have the answers. And I say, I cannot tell you because of this. You're looking for reasons. I won't be able to give you because I feel it.
Yes.
So this is it. I feel it. This is what I have to do. Even if I cannot give you any reason but that one. I feel this is.
It's enough just to say, because I say so. Mm-hmm. I decided that that's how it is for me.
Yes.
That's enough of a reason,
And I take responsibilities for whatever happens for that decision. I think that's also important to do, right? It's not because then it's my decision. So who am I going to blame? And I think that's the risk sometimes, as you were saying, of just listening from the outside, if it's another entity, or even if it's your family, if it's church, if it's the government.
Whatever,
yeah, it's just whatever. It's you giving them, and then you have an excuse. Oh, I could not do this because they say so. I have not because they say so. Because of the they. And I always sometimes say they. It's like, who are they? Why don't you take... it's like, first of all, we're not separated. So they are you. So this is the first thing. But the second thing is, instead of giving them, whoever they are, because it's going to be different in each person, why don't you say, I take responsibility of this decision? And I take responsibility of what I feel. And what you feel today, it might be different tomorrow. It doesn't matter. Don't be afraid also to evolve, to change.
Yes, absolutely.
We get so like, ah.
No, it's fun to break all these walls that we're building around ourselves, and they were beautiful walls. They gave us an
Absolutely.
experience. It was great, but now it's fun to break all apart and be and walk without walls, or create new walls and then destroy them, create new ones, smaller, taller, different colors, different shapes, no wall at all, lots of wall. You know, we are here. We are here to have fun and to play.
Yes.
Like when we were children, you know, when we were between 0 and 2, 3 years old, we were not concerned about consequences. We were not concerned about past and future. We were just one fleeting moment after the other, focused on the joy, on the wonder that was in front of our eyes. We just want to taste it, touch it, play with it, you know, feel it. And that's where we have to go back to, with the difference that now, after this amazing experience of limited contractions and intense contractive dualism of good and bad, light and dark, we have gained a higher level of discernment. So now we can go back to that purity of a child that just want to play on the here and now we have a higher level of discernment, so that make the things even more self-empowering, much more interesting, much more creative.
Yeah, and don't. I'm thinking right now what you're saying. It reminds me. Don't be afraid of any combination. Like
Right.
if one brick with another kind of brick to create whatever. Don't be afraid. And sometimes it was right now, for example, that I just went Mexico. I've been drinking hibiscus, agua de Jamaica, hibiscus water all my life because that's something you drink in Mexico. And I love it. I adore it. And I've made some combination. And suddenly I arrived there to a restaurant and they put rosemary to it. And it was delicious.
Wow.
You see, so it was delicious. And but the moment I took it, first of all, I enjoy very much. The second thing is, this is what we need to start to do with our lives.
Yeah.
It's put rosemary where you've never put it before. So, and you know what I'm talking, the metaphor that I'm talking about, because I might have not liked it. It doesn't matter. But if you don't try it, you will never know.
Yes. And that's another thing. We are so afraid. We have been so conditioned to be afraid of making mistakes.
Oh, yeah.
That's a big one. Making mistakes, you know. In my, for example, in my communion, in my connection with music, some of the most beautiful composition I created came from mistakes.
Yes. There's not such a thing as mistake.
Exactly.
Right? There's not such a thing as a mistake. It's exactly this illusion of the non-perfection because everything is perfect all the time.
Yes.
So, but allowing it and but start trying things. Make your own hibiscus waters with anything that you have around. And for me, it was really that wonder. It was like, oh wow, this is an explosion in my mouth, and at the same time, it was like this opening in my whole expression of saying, oh my God, we still need to. I have so much more that I can experience about myself, and I feel that's even my. It's like, what are you doing here on earth? If someone asks, I say, well, I'm experience myself in all the infinite ways possible that I have, day by day, hour by hour, minute by minute. So when I had that hibiscus water with rosemary, it's like, imagine if all the possibilities a hibiscus water has in taste, different tastes you can combine. Imagine still how much more possibilities I have to experience myself. I got very excited about that idea.
Yeah. And so that's the beauty. It's maybe we take in first some sort of structure that comes from tradition, culture, whatever, but then we start to make it flexible. We break all the rules. Okay, I'm supposed to do this A, B, C, D. Okay, what if I do A and then I jump right to D and then I go back to C again? Because that's I feel interesting. And so we take whatever structure comes, or we create a structure, but then we let it go. In that way, the male and female energy are dancing together, because the male energy creates a first layout, which is dictated by an intent, and then the female say, okay, thank you for the structure. Now let's play. Let's dance with the structure. Let's break it and see where the whole process take us in something that we never see before.
Yeah, and let's create chaos, and then suddenly we have a new kind of structure, and you can keep going through the process over and over again.
Yes.
And this is how we can really create a new human within yourself and a new humanity here on Earth.
Yes, that's the new human that wants to be born right now. Right now, that's where we are going. And that's what we need to open up to and welcome to. An absolute state of self-empowerment, creativity, non-judgment, and fun and love, no seriousness at all. Intensity, yes. Passion, yes, but not taking anything too seriously. And then be willing to follow the voice of our soul that tell us always where to go and what to do, and embrace the mystery. Those are the new parameters that until now were being kind of forgotten. Now we are bringing them back to our reality, with the difference that we are now getting into a new operating system that has been upgraded, so we can play even harder and more fun and more intensely now.
And we have more ingredients to play with.
Yes.
I agree. Someone sent you here a nice, your music is soul touching and takes you deep within.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Enrita. Yes, I know Enrita. She's a beautiful soul. I co-created with her in some time ago when I was doing a concert in Ecuador. And she opened up the concert with a beautiful meditation. So, yes, thank you, Enrita. Nice to connect with you again.
Very sweet.
Okay, we just passed the hour already. It's gone. It's done.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And but so beautiful always to share, and we get engaged.
Yes.
With no script.
Yeah. There's no need of script. The script is unfolding as we progress moment by moment.
And that should be in life, right? Like life itself.
Yeah, that's a necessary requirement if we want to break through this rigid structure that give us the illusion to be safe, but we are not here to be safe. Safe from what?
Exactly. Safe from what? That's the question. Safe from what?
Yeah, it's nothing to be safe.
You're just avoiding the wonderful life.
Yeah. Yes. So beautiful. Thank you, Lilly, for this again 1 hour of beautiful conversation. Thank you all for being with us. Thank you. Much love to everybody.
Thank you. Bye-bye.